Welcome back to the Deep Dive. It is Wednesday, February 4th, 2026.
It is.
And if you've been brave enough to unlock your phone and check your portfolio or your news feed this morning, you are probably looking at a sea of red.
Oh, it is an absolute bloodbath out there. There's really no other way to put it.
We are seeing volatility that, we haven't seen in years. But this isn't the usual suspect, is it?
No.
We weren't talking about some general market malaise where everyone is just, feeling down about interest rates. This is very specific.
It's a very concentrated financial shockwave, you're right. And it has hit one sector harder than anything else.
It's Indian IT sector.
That's it. It just suffered its worst single trading session since March 2020.
March 2020. I want to pause on that date because context is everything here.
Right.
That was the start of the global pandemic. The world was literally shutting down.
Exactly. Factories were closing, borders were locking up, and that's what makes today so incredibly strange.
Because usually when you see a crash this big, we're talking billions of dollars in market cap evaporated in a few hours.
It's driven by a macro event, a war, a pandemic, a banking collapse, something huge.
Right. Usually the sky falls for everyone at once.
Yeah.
But today, the sky's blue. There's no new geopolitical crisis that wasn't there yesterday.
Earnings reports haven't even dropped for most of these guys.
So why did the floor just fall out?
Well, believe it or not, billions of dollars were wiped out today because of a product launch.
A product launch? You're telling me a press release caused a flash crash?
A software update, to be precise.
Okay, that sounds absurd. So that's the mystery we are solving today. We are looking at the reporting from Reuters this morning about U.S.-based Anthropic.
They made an announcement, and the ripples are literally shaking the foundations of the global economy.
It's the butterfly effect in real time.
It is. Anthropic released new plugins for what they call the Claude Cowork agent. And the market looked at that software update, read the documentation, and basically decided the traditional IT business model is effectively dead.
That is a massive claim. Effectively dead.
It is.
So our mission for this deep dive is to connect those dots. How does a chatbot update in San Francisco knock 6% off the index in Mumbai?
And more importantly, are we looking at the end of the billable hour economy?
Because if we are, that changes everything for how work gets done.
It changes everything. Let's get into it.
Okay, I want to start with the damage report.
Okay.
Because when we say crash, I don't want you to think this is just like some crypto volatility or a meme stock having a bad afternoon.
No. This is institutional money fleeing. This is pension funds and sovereign wealth moving out.
We're looking at the Nifty index.
Right, the benchmark for Indian IT exporters.
It slumped 6.3% in a single session.
Okay.
Now, for people who don't watch these indices every day, is 6% actually that big of a deal?
Oh, in the world of established equities, it's historic. It's a catastrophe.
Really?
Yeah, you have to understand, indices like this are designed to be stable. They are composed of massive, diversified conglomerates. A 1% move is a busy day.
So 6% is...
It's a signal of profound panic.
And looking at the constituents, there are 10 companies in this index. 10 giants.
And every single one of them is in the red. This wasn't one bad apple dragging the average down. This was a sector-wide liquidation.
Let's name names, just so it's clear who we're talking about. Infosys led the decline, down 7.3%.
Which is just stunning for a company of that size. Infosys is usually as steady as a rock.
TCS, that's Tata Consultancy Services, down 5.8%. HCLTech, down 5.1%. Wipro, down almost 4%.
And we need to contextualize who these companies are for you. These aren't flashy Silicon Valley startups with zero revenue and big dreams.
No.
TCS and Infosys are the plumbing of the global corporate world. They manage the back-end systems for banks, for healthcare giants, insurance firms. This is a $283 billion sector.
They're the steady hands. You buy them for dividends and stability. You do not buy them expecting a roller coaster.
Precisely. They have hundreds of thousands of employees, massive real estate footprints, multi-year contracts with the Fortune 500.
So when companies like that drop 7% in a day,
it means the market isn't just worried about this quarter's earnings. It means the market thinks their fundamental reason for existing is now under threat.
And it wasn't just India, right? This wasn't a local currency thing.
No, the Reuters data shows this was a global sentiment shift. We saw significant hits to U.S. and European data analytics stocks, too. The market is repricing the entire concept of outsourced software labor.
But India took the hardest hit.
Because that's the epicenter of that business model. That's where the headcount is.
Okay, let's pivot to the culprit, or the innovator, depending on where your money is. What did Anthropic actually release on Friday?
Right.
Because we've had ChatGPT and Claude for years now. We know they can write code. We know they can summarize emails. Why did this specific update cause the panic?
That is the key question. The difference lies in one very specific word: agent.
Agent. Okay, we hear that buzzword a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What does it actually mean here?
Well, up until now, we've mostly been using LLMs, large language models, as advisors. You ask a question, it gives an answer. You ask it to write a Python function. It writes the text of the function.
But then I, the human, have to copy it, paste it into my environment, run the test, see if it breaks.
Exactly. You still have to do all the work. You are the one driving the car.
I'm the bottleneck.
You are the bottleneck. What Anthropic launched with Claude Cowork is different. These are plugins that allow the AI to act.
To act.
It automates tasks across 4 specific sectors: legal, sales, marketing, and data analysis. But the crucial part, and the part that terrified investors, is the capability for routine development and testing.
Routine development and testing. That sounds boring, but I have a feeling you're going to tell me it's important.
Think of it this way. The difference between the old ChatGPT and this new agent is, it's like the difference between a GPS that tells you where to turn.
And a self-driving car that actually takes you there.
A self-driving car that takes you there while you sleep.
Okay, that clicks. So the GPS helps me be more efficient. The self-driving car replaces me.
Spot on. The Reuters report emphasizes that these tools aren't just generating code snippets, they're designed to handle entire workflows. It can run the test suites, it can debug legacy codes, it can update the database. This is the grunt work of IT.
But wait, I have to push back a little here. We've had tools like GitHub Copilot for a while now.
Yeah.
They auto-complete code. Developers love them. Why didn't those tools crash the market?
Because Copilot makes a developer faster. It makes one developer act like, say, 1.5 developers. That's efficiency.
Right.
But an agent that can take a Jira ticket, a task request, read the code base, implement the fix, run the tests, and then deploy the code without a human touching it, that isn't efficiency.
That's a replacement.
That is replacement.
And that grunt work, the testing, the bug fixing, that is exactly what these massive IT consultancy firms sell, isn't it?
Now we're getting to the why. We have to look at the mechanics of the Indian IT sector. Historically, how do they make money? What is the actual product they sell?
Well, they build software.
Technically, yes. But economically, they sell time. It's a staffing-intensive model. It is completely linear.
What do you mean by linear?
If a client like Citibank wants to upgrade their legacy banking system, they hire Infosys. Infosys says, okay, that's a massive job. We need to deploy 500 engineers for 18 months.
And Citibank pays for those 500 people. They pay for the hours.
Exactly. It's the billable hour. Revenue is directly tied to headcount. If you want to make more money as an IT firm, you hire more people and bill them out.
It's a game of bodies and seats.
It's been that way for 30 years.
So enter the agent.
Enter Claude Cowork, and suddenly that routine development and testing, which might consume 60 or 70% of those 500 engineers' time.
It can be done by software?
It can be done by software. So if the AI does the testing and the basic coding,
You don't need 500 engineers.
maybe you only need 50 senior architects to oversee the AI agents.
And if you only need 50 people.
Your billable hours collapse, your revenue collapses.
Yeah.
The linear link between more work and more money is broken.
That's the aha moment. The efficiency is actually the enemy of the business model.
There's a brutal quote in the article from Ambrish Shah, an analyst at Systematics Group. He puts it very bluntly. He says, as Indian enterprises integrate Claude for critical coding workflows, dependency on large vendor teams may decline.
Dependency on large vendor teams.
Yeah.
That is very polite corporate speak for, we don't need to hire your army anymore.
Exactly. And Shah continues, he notes that this directly squeezes billable hours and margins. The market realized today that we're moving from a model where you pay for effort, how many hours did you work, to a model where you pay for outcomes.
Did the software get built?
Did it get built? And software creates outcomes infinitely cheaper than humans do.
It's like selling ice blocks right before the refrigerator was invented.
That is the perfect analogy.
You can have the best ice delivery service in the world, great trucks, but once the fridge is in the kitchen, your business model is zero.
That's it. And the terrifying part for these companies is that they can't just adopt the AI to save themselves.
Why not? That's the obvious counterargument. Why doesn't Infosys just use Claude Cowork? Then they can do the work faster and keep the money.
Because their clients aren't stupid. Citibank and the Fortune 500, they read the news too. If Citibank knows that Infosys is using AI to do the work in half the time,
We're going to demand a 50% price cut.
or even worse for Infosys, Citibank might just license Claude themselves and cut out the middleman entirely.
So the margins get crushed either way.
Exactly. The pricing power has shifted. It used to belong to the firm with the most talent available for hire. Now it belongs to the firm with the best AI.
I want to shift gears here. We've been talking about billions of dollars in corporate margins. It's easy to get lost in the abstraction of sectors and indices.
Right.
But there are real people behind these stock tickers. The Indian IT sector is one of the largest employers in the world.
Millions of people. It's the engine of the Indian middle class. It has lifted entire generations out of poverty.
So what happens to the workers, specifically the people doing this routine development?
This is where the analysis gets dark and, frankly, where the societal risk is. The experts are pointing to a specific existential threat to the entry-level talent pool.
The fresh grads,
Yeah.
the juniors, the kids just out of college.
Yes. Every year, these firms, TCS, Wipro, Infosys, they hire tens of thousands of engineering graduates. And what's their job?
It's not architecting cloud systems for banks.
Not at first. They start doing the grunt work. Testing, maintenance, basic bug fixes.
They cut their teeth on the boring stuff. That's the boot camp.
Exactly. That's how they learn the systems. That is how they become senior engineers eventually. But Claude Cowork is specifically targeting that work. It's targeting the entry-level tasks.
So if I'm a junior engineer,
In the crosshairs. Amber Shaw highlighted this specifically. If you don't need humans to do the routine testing, you simply stop hiring the juniors. The bottom rung of the career ladder it vanishes.
that is terrifying. If you're a listener with a kid in computer science right now, or if you're a student yourself, this feels personal. This isn't just about stock prices. It's about whether the job you're studying for will even exist.
It challenges the entire trajectory of a technical career. We've always assumed the path is linear, junior, mid-level, senior.
Right.
But if the junior role is automated, how do you ever get to senior? It creates a gap in the pipeline that we don't know how to fill yet.
Okay, before we spiral into total doom and gloom, because we're getting pretty close to the edge there, I have to play devil's advocate.
Please.
Markets are emotional beasts. They panic. They overreact. Is there a chance this is just a massive overcorrection?
There is always that chance. Markets hate uncertainty, and this is maximum uncertainty. And to be fair, not everyone in the industry agrees with the doom narrative.
Yeah.
The Reuters piece actually sidebarred a very interesting counter-perspective from Jensen Huang.
The CEO of NVIDIA, the man in the leather jacket.
The very same. Now, you have to consider his position, but his stance is that AI isn't a replacement. It's an empowerment tool.
The classic argument. AI won't replace you. The person using AI will replace you.
Right. He argues that AI makes software engineers superhuman. It allows them to build more, create more complex systems, and tackle bigger problems that were previously too expensive to solve.
So in his view, the demand for software goes up, not down.
Jevons paradox. As efficiency increases, demand increases.
But isn't there a massive conflict of interest there? NVIDIA sells the shovels. They need everyone to keep digging.
Oh, absolutely. NVIDIA wants you to buy more chips to run more AI. He has a vested interest in optimism. But it highlights a fascinating tension in the market. You have two narratives fighting for dominance right now.
Okay, what
Narrative A is the NVIDIA view. AI is a tool that expands the economy. Narrative B is the view we saw today. AI is a replacement that shrinks the labor market.
And today, the stock market voted for narrative B.
Resoundingly. And notice the divergence. NVIDIA stock is doing fine. The hardware makers are partying.
Right.
But the service providers, the people who actually implement the code, are getting slaughtered.
It's a decoupling.
Yeah.
You could be a long AI infrastructure, the chips, the data centers, and short AI labor.
That's migrating to the silicon and the algorithms and away from the human service layer.
This is a lot to take in. We are watching a restructuring of the global economy in real time.
We really are. We throw the word disruption around a lot in tech. Usually it's marketing fluff for some new app that delivers groceries.
Yeah.
But a 6.3% drop across a $283 billion sector, that is what actual disruption looks like. It's painful, it's messy, and it happens fast.
So let's try to synthesize this for everyone listening. We've covered the crash, the agent technology, the death of the billable hour, and the talent crisis.
Yeah.
If you had to boil this down to one takeaway, what is it?
I think the big picture takeaway is that the labor arbitrage era is ending.
Break that down. Labor arbitrage.
For 30 years, the global economy has worked by moving jobs to where people were cheaper. You move manufacturing to China, you move IT services to India. It was all about finding the same skill for a lower wage.
Right. Moving work from New York to Bangalore to save money.
Exactly. But AI is the ultimate labor arbitrage. It's cheaper than the cheapest human worker on Earth. It works 24/7, it doesn't take holidays.
And the market is telling us that the future doesn't belong to companies that sell headcount.
No matter how cheap that headcount is, it belongs to companies that sell automation and speed. The value has shifted from the effort, the sweat equity, to the result.
Perfectly put. If I can get the code written in 5 seconds for a fraction of a cent, I don't care how many people you have in your office building.
Exactly.
Well, on that note, we are going to wrap up this deep dive. But we can't leave without giving you something to chew on. We always like to leave a final provocation.
And I want to go back to that burning ladder idea we touched on.
The junior engineers.
Yes. I think this is the sleeper issue that no one is solving yet. If tools like Claude Cowork eliminate the entry-level work, the testing, the debugging, the simple coding...
Where does the next generation of experts actually come from?
Right. You can't just birth a senior architect. You can't just take a course and suddenly know how to manage a massive system failure.
You learn by breaking things. You learn by fixing boring bugs.
You learn by staring at code for 10 hours until it makes sense. If the apprentice role is automated out of existence, who becomes the master?
If the AI does all the practice, the AI becomes the expert. And we become...
What?
The observers.
That is the risk. If no one is doing the basic work, how do they gain the deep intuition required to fix the AI when it inevitably breaks? We might be automating away the very training ground that creates the experts we need to run the world.
We're kicking away the ladder while we are standing on the roof.
We are. It's the paradox of efficiency. And it's something every industry, not just IT, is going to have to figure out.
Definitely something to keep you up at night. Thank you for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll be watching the tickers closely to see if this is a blip or the new normal.
Stay curious, everyone.
See you next time.